Yeah.
No way. Tell me about that.
I made President's Club, like basically their version of President's Club
Yeah.
in 2021.
You're just a
So
winner. You're giving me goosebumps. That's awesome.
yeah, it was like my biggest accomplishment at Salesforce. And yeah, I went in 2022. It was for my performance in 2021. And it was
Congrats.
thank you. It was so cool. Like I got to bring Richie, my boyfriend, fully expense, like 3 or 4 day trip. Katy Perry came and performed just for us, like live performance. Yeah, it was amazing. There's like gifts on like when you went back to your hotel like every single night.
Oh
like,
my gosh.
super cool experience.
Where'd you guys stay in Hawaii?
I think it was in Big Island. Can't remember what the resort was called, but it was like a super nice resort.
Wow, congrats. You deserve it.
Thank you. Yeah, that was super cool. And usually it's like 90% salespeople. So like as a pre-sales engineer going, it was such an honor.
They all have a good time, yeah.
Yeah. But your question was around sorry, I just
yeah.
Can you repeat that question?
Of course, yeah. How did you excel at Salesforce? And it's kind of even more evident now that you were in the President's Club. Like, what did you do to make sure you had great performance reviews, you were highly regarded amongst your peers, and all anything of that nature? What did you do to make sure you excelled at that role?
Yeah. So one thing I loved about the Salesforce culture was that like when I started in end of 2019, so I basically started right before the pandemic. I felt like there was such a culture, even remotely, to give feedback, and like it was a safe space to basically like solicit feedback, apply the feedback in real time, and get a lot of like at bats to become like a really high performer. So I started in the SMB, so like small medium business space as a solution engineer. So what that means is like I was aligned to like 8 to 10 like account executives, and each of them had like 30 accounts. So if you do the math, that's a lot of accounts to like talk to. So my days were like I don't know, I would have like 20 calls on my calendar a week, probably more. Yeah, and these are like customer calls, not counting like internal syncs and everything.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot. And it's talking to like, it's super cool. It was a super cool job though. It was like talking to the coolest startups, mom and pop shops, and just like learning how their business runs, especially during COVID when things are changing a ton. And a lot of customers had to pivot, right? Like a lot of them would be doing something. Like I had one customer in particular that like they were selling like adult toys and like lubricants that they had to pivot to like producing like hand sanitizer. So it was such a cool and interesting time to actually be a part of like selling Salesforce to them and painting the vision. But that's part of how I succeeded, right? Like I just had so many at bats. It was such a great culture of like we have like a 3-month ramp, right? Like you literally have to like do what we call peer certifications, where you go through like 7 panels where you mock role play like what a customer call is like, and you get feedback, and then sometimes you pass, sometimes you don't, and you have to redo it. So there's a lot of that. And then it was just like, it was such a great experience. Like I originally started working with 10 account executives, but throughout my 4 years I've probably worked with over 50 account executives at this point, probably more. So just like learning how to work with different personalities,